Welcome back, students. Today's topic is polymerase chain reaction, PCR technique. Now, what is polymerase chain reaction? It is a mechanized process for amplification of gene of interest. We have been learning about cloning of gene in vivo. Now, what is the meaning of the word in vivo? First, we will take that. Then we will talk about polymerase chain reaction, which is carried out in vitro. So what is the difference between these two words? See, again, let's recap how we clone a gene of interest. This is a DNA segment. The gene of interest can be cloned in vivo or in vitro. In vivo techniques we have already done using cloning vectors. We give the desirable gene in the cloning vector, and when the cloning vector ligates it along with the gene of interest, this recombinant DNA is given into a host. A competent host takes the recombinant DNA and goes on multiplying. The resultant progeny all have this gene of interest. So this process of gene cloning, which happens within a living cell, it could be bacterial cell or any cell, but when it happens within a living cell, it is known as in vivo. On the other hand, when you are carrying out a process in a laboratory using glasswares, etc., we call that method in vitro. Vitro, the Greek word meaning glass. So it's a method carried out not within living organisms. It's a mechanized process. Clear? So that is the word meaning. So this in vitro technique of producing DNA clones, which is at a very high rate, an exponential rate, this technique, and it's also very rapid, and repeated cycles can give an exponential rate good number of clones, the copies of that gene. This technique of gene amplification was invented by Kary Mullis in the year 1985. Amplification here refers to the increase in number, not size. Clear? Now, why do we need such amplification of DNA samples? Suppose you isolate a DNA or you get a desirable piece of DNA from some crime spots, etc. We should take care of not losing that sample. So it's better we amplify it and keep. So such isolated DNA from different sources to be used for recombinant DNA technology, we have to amplify it. Tissues obtained from crime spots and all, we can obtain DNA from that, keep amplifying it and keep it for our purpose, for the research purpose. For fossil genetic studies, we can use this process of amplifying DNA for cloning or research purpose, etc. So that is the main uses of such amplification. Now, what are the basic steps involved? Any double-stranded DNA can be amplified to millions of copies, but each cycle has a particular step. What are those steps? The very first step is called denaturation. The second step is called annealing, and the third step is called extension. So how we go about these steps, we will read in detail. So the basic steps of amplifying involves 3 steps. One cycle involves 3 steps. So denaturation, denature means breaking the hydrogen bond, and the double-stranded nature is broken down. They are single strands now because of breaking of hydrogen bond at high degree. Then annealing here refers to a process, we will discuss it in detail, and extension, making the new strands. Clear? Now, what are the basic requirements to carry out PCR technique? These are the things you need. I'll just brief it fast. You please have a reading. Don't overlook what is written here. I'll be briefing it here. You need the segment to be amplified, DNA segment that has to be amplified. Segments are helical, but everywhere when we explain, we will take 2 lines, 2 linear strands for convenience. Clear? then we need the raw material, that is the brick which makes the DNA. And if you are very clear with DNA structure and all, you will know that the bricks of DNA, that is the individual monomers, they are the nucleotides. So each nucleotide has 3 components, all that you know. So we will take such nucleotides. These are the nucleotides having guanine. We call it DGTP, deoxy. See the term deoxynucleotide triphosphates. Each nucleotide, we normally call it DNTP, but when you are having guanine, presence of guanine base in that nucleotide, you call it DGTP. And when you have adenine, you call it DATP. When you have cytosine, that is cytidine, when it becomes a complete nucleotide, DCTP, and DTTP for thymine. Clear? So these are the bricks which make up the DNA. Though we always refer to only the bases. So that is one thing you need in a good concentration. Then 2 primers. What are primers? Primers are actually, in simple words, if I say, they are starters. So they are chemically synthesized small segments called oligonucleotides, very short fragments of DNA which will act as primers, because the new strand formation will not start unless there is a starter. So that is the basic idea why we need primers. Clear? So such primers should be there in the reaction tube. This should be there in the reaction tube. DNA sample should be there. DNA polymerase, the role of DNA polymerase is to extend the chain, is to add nucleotides, add the bricks, cement them together. You know, you make a wall, you add brick by brick and cement them together. Just like that, DNA, the polynucleotide chain, will form only when polymerase, DNA polymerase will polymerize the process. Polymerization means going on adding nucleotide one after the other. And here the most important thing for the study purpose is you need a thermostable polymerase. That means stable at high temperature, because PCR runs at high temperature. So the thermostable polymerase name is TAQ polymerase, TAQ. T for thermus, AQ for aquaticus, that is the species name of the bacterium Thermus aquaticus. So you remember this, TAQ polymerase is used in PCR because it is thermostable. It does not get degraded at high temperature. Clear? Buffer solution is needed for stabilizing the environment for the polymerase activity. That is a buffer. So all this has to be put in the PCR tube. This is a PCR machine called amplifier or thermal cycler. So all these things should be there in the reaction tube, and the run time is given for amplification. Now how does it get amplified? This one DNA segment, double strand, how will it make millions of copies? This is a basic idea of what a nucleotide is. Just for briefing I took this, please have a look. This is the whole structure of DATP. This is the whole structure of a DTP. This is the whole structure of DGTP, and this is deoxycytidine triphosphate. So this is what we see in each, we write only the base, but each segment has, suppose I have written A here. So this whole nucleotide here is actually this much. Okay, we only take the nitrogen bases A, G, C, but you should think that one whole brick is this whole thing. So just for briefing I took that, you can have a look. And these are the primers. Now what are primers? Primers are short segments synthesized in the laboratory. And how? They should be complementary to a few bases at the 3' end of the parent strand. Parent strand is the separated strands of original DNA. So these are the parent strands. So what are primers? Primers are such bricks, formed in the laboratory as a short piece of a DNA segment. So this is a primer, this is a primer. So in one cycle, 2 primers are needed. This is another important question. One cycle, 2 primers are needed. And where do the primers attach? The primers attach to the 3' end of the parent strand. To the 3' end of the parent strand. Because polymerase activity, DNA polymerase activity runs only from 5 to 3. A chain can extend from 5' to 3' only. That is why. Now, basic principle of a double-stranded DNA molecule of PCR technique is when a double-stranded DNA molecule is heated. See, this is a double-stranded molecule. It is heated. So, this strand is separated. Then this strand is separated. So, I have written parent strand there. Can you see? Then, in one cycle with those 3 steps, what I discussed earlier, denaturing, annealing and extension, you get 2 complete DNA exactly like what was there in the parent. Then in the second cycle, this is 1, 2, 3 cycles shown here. Second cycle, this will again separate. How we will discuss. And copies are increasing in the number of 2 raised to the power n. Third cycle this. So by 30 cycles, you get 2 billion copies approximately. So that is the basic principle behind PCR. Now, steps in PCR cycle. Denaturation, the very first step is called separation. That means this is the double-stranded DNA that you have to amplify. And this is the gene of interest that has to be amplified, not the whole segment. So we will go further. When the final copy we get new copies, we will show only this, because only this is the region amplified. Clear? So denaturation is the first step carried out at high degree, 95 degree. In a reaction, this is happening in a reaction tube inside an amplifier. Okay, so the 2 strands separate. This is called denaturation, breaking of hydrogen bonds. And in the reaction tube, all these materials are available. We have provided all these materials, polymerase, then the primers, then the nucleotides, etc. So next step is temperature should be brought down for annealing. The next step is called annealing, also called hybridization. What is hybridizing here? The primers will come and attach. Okay, primers will come and attach. So this parent strand is 5 to 3. So primer will attach at the 3' end, not at this end, but at the end where DNA segment has to be amplified. Only the region which is amplified, we are giving primer complementary to the base in that area. So primers will attach. Clear? And primers attach to the opposite ends of each of the parent strands. See, one strand it is attaching 3', so it is going to run this way. The other parent strand 3' end is here, so it is attaching here. So complementary bases are there, so it is fixing there. Then the third step, so annealing needs temperature to be brought down, because otherwise primer activity will not happen. The bonding won't happen. So temperature has to be brought down, controlling unit is there. Then extension, again temperature has to be increased a little, not that much, but a little, and polymerase starts acting at that high temperature also. So how does polymerase act? See here. Polymerase binds to the primer. Polymerase runs over the fragment, parental strand, allows the primer to extend. That means addition of new nucleotides. So from the reaction pool, new nucleotides will come and the polymerase will fix it. How? First, it will form the hydrogen bond. Suppose thymine nucleotide with thymine has come. So it will bond with A, adenine. So hydrogen bonding will occur, and then phosphodiester bond between the previous nucleotide and the current that has come now. Clear? So that is how 1 by 1 nucleotides would be added. You will see a short GIF that is prepared by one of my colleagues, and that is a very good GIF at the end of this PowerPoint. Please don't miss it. It shows the whole process very clearly. Clear? So polymerase will extend the strand in the opposite direction. From here to here the strand is extending. In this one, from here to here. So in one cycle you got 2 copies. So like this, repeat cycles, 30 cycles when allowed, 1 billion copies you will get. So annealing and extension, please read again the whole thing. I have explained it everything. Primers flank the region to be amplified. Extension happens at 72 degrees Celsius. All these things you just go through once, please. Then this is the GIF. Have a look. It's great. Great work. 3 bonds between G and C. 2 bonds between A and T. Dots are representing the bonds. These are the primers. Okay, the colors represent each of the nucleotides. See, 3 bonds between G and C. 2 bonds between A and T. Adenine and thymine bond with double bond. So I hope that is very good. See how the polymerase is moving. Have a look 2-3 times. Please have a look at this. You can review it. That is how and temperature is also shown there. So by the end of 30 cycles, it will be amplified to billion copies, approximately billion copies. Thank you. I hope you understood. Please